Generally speaking, how men think about sex and how women think about sex is generally different. I think that has to do with our biology, our physiology, and sometimes um, how and where we get our information about sex. Most times, the first time a man learns about sex, there's a certain way he learns about it. The first time a woman learns about sex, there's a certain way he learns about sex. Generally speaking, some of the people I've spoken to, the way they learn about sex, particularly for women, is sometimes from their moms. And say, if a man touches you, you'll get pregnant. For many guys, rarely, maybe these days, but rarely do they have healthy conversations with, rarely did their parents, maybe their father, have healthy conversation about sex with them. So it's often, most things people learn, they often pick it up from their colleagues in school, viewing magazines and all those kind of things. There are different ways people learn. And usually, where and how you learn about sex can be the foundation of how you think about sex. What that means is that it's called the law of first mention. The first time you learn about something can shift, can color your worldview about it. And so you have to be very intentional about reviewing what you think about sex generally. Okay? So it's very important for you to be able to do that. To be able to think about, what I like to see it this way. I like to see you have to consciously improve your vocabulary, your curriculum, what you think about sex, what you learn about sex, and reflect and just process it. Okay, it's very important for you to be able to do that. Otherwise, you'll be running an old script that no longer serves you. So, for example, when I was going to get married, all I was thinking about sex was, what I'm going to get. I've waited for this long. It's going to be so exciting. That's what I was thinking about. Until I read a book, and that book asked a few questions. That book was about preparing for marriage. And the book kind of actually said, okay, so one of the key things you need to do, you need to think about the interest of your partner. Ask them questions. I never thought about it. I was looking at sex from a selfish point of view. What I was going to get. I wasn't thinking about what I was going to give. I wasn't thinking about asking my wife, when I get married, asking her what she wants, what she finds pleasurable. I wasn't thinking about that. That's why I said it's very important for you to constantly review what you think about sex. Otherwise, you might find yourself in a situation where you are only focusing about yourself. And we know that marriage is brutal on selfish people. All right? If you're only thinking about what you are going to get in any relationship, very soon that relationship is going to run dry. Okay? So you have to consciously. So the first thing first is to come into the sexual experience with a desire to please your partner. If you don't get that sorted, you're going to be like a vampire, only taking and never giving, like a leech, like a parasite, only taking and never giving anything back. All right, sexual experience should be symbiotic. That's very important. Very important. So, but today we want to look at 3 things we should avoid when it comes to, this is mainly for women. When it comes to your husband, what are the 3 things you should avoid when it comes to sex? Because sometimes women are confused and it's like, you know what? I don't understand why my husband doesn't find me desirable. I've done everything, but he just kind of shuts down. Anytime I touch him, he kind of cringes, even though I know that he wants it. But he's just kind of cringes around me. There are different reasons. Sometimes it might be the phase of life. They may be worried about something. It may be health-related issue. It may be work-life balance. It may be midlife crisis. There are a number of things. But I want to focus on 3 key things that can lead to that. Number 1 thing is that never weaponize sex. Use sex as a weapon against your husband. What does that mean? Maybe both of you are angry at each other, you have disagreements, or you want to get something from him or you want to get him to agree to something, and as a result of that, you withdraw. When he approaches you for sex, you withdraw in sexual experience until he agrees to your terms. That is weaponizing sex. All right, that's not a healthy way to handle sexual experience. Don't weaponize sex in your relationship, because if you do that, you're going to be starting a journey that you don't know where it's going to lead to. All right. It's largely dependent on how mature, how the level of self-restraint your husband has. Not every man has that self-restraint, and when their wife is withholding sex, they will still be pursuing. Some people use it as an excuse to do what they've always wanted to do, if you get what I mean. So it's not a healthy thing for you to weaponize sex against your husband. It's not a healthy thing at all, at all, at all. You don't want to create an opening. You don't want to create a situation that can potentially go bigger and really nasty very quickly. Okay? Don't put your marriage in that kind of situation. So don't weaponize sex against your husband. Okay? The other thing I like to talk about here is don't shame him about sex. Because sometimes, generally speaking, in exceptional cases, men often have higher libido when it comes to sexual experiences. Men often want it more because generally men need to empty their what do you call it now? Their sperm bank. They need to empty it every couple of days. So generally, it's even in the animal kingdom, you realize that the male often chases more than the female. So in a situation like that, you might find your husband pursue you more. I think it's a good thing if your husband finds you attractive and pursues you. So don't shame them like, oh, is that all you think about? Is that all you think about? Is in the morning, in the evening, every time is that all you think about? Don't shame your husband. All right. People react to shame differently. All right. Some people will goofy, laugh it off. Some people will still carry on doing what they're doing. Some people will just withdraw. Some people become apprehensive. Some people interpret it as rejection. So you think about it. You were trying to get something. Maybe you're trying to get a promotion and somebody shames you. Trying to get something I would think you need. And somebody uses it to shame you. It's not a healthy thing at all. Okay? It's not a healthy thing. So it's very important for you to ensure that you don't weaponize sex. Ensure that you don't shame your husband around the topic of sex. All right, rather than say that all you think about, say it's not the best time for me now. Can we? And then you negotiate. All right, and make sure you keep your promise. Okay, can we do it this time? Keep your promise. All right. That brings up the topic. Sometimes people ask, should sex be spontaneous or should it be scheduled? So when we coach, my wife and myself, when we coach couples, we often say it should be both. Why? Because there are relationships where they've not been having sex regularly because they are so busy. So if that's you, schedule it to say every Tuesday night and Wednesday night. That's what we're going to be doing. Schedule it. Okay? And then you can walk around that. Very critical, very important. And then also make sure that the spontaneous part is part of it. It brings that spice into it. The scheduling part will help whoever has lesser libido can work on his or her mind towards it and look forward to it. All right. And also find a way to also introduce spontaneity. I mean, it's really nice for you to have both. Okay. So the first point is don't weaponize sex. The second point is don't shame them. The third thing is don't criticize your husband's genitals, sexual organ. It's not a very good thing. Okay. It's one of the things that can damage a man's self-esteem. This is really serious. That's a way you can shame a man's sexual organ and it can impact on his self-esteem. It's like when you body shame a woman. All right. I don't want to be very graphic here because it's in the public domain, but you don't want to do that, particularly for a man. All right. So some people will say size matters. Some people will say size doesn't matter. It depends on how you use it. Guide him and help him on how he can better satisfy you. But don't shame his sexual organ. That is a no-no. That's something you must avoid at all costs. Okay? 3 things that you shouldn't do when it comes to your man and your sexual experience in the bedroom. All right? Till I come your way again. Bye for now. Take care.